Deputy Chief Batten. You see that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Look at the entry that the chief made here where he says, second interview with Mathis, very end is a question. I think that should be omitted with a question mark. You see that, sir?
Where's it? I'm sorry.
About a third of the way down in the email from Chief Umberger to Gary Batten. Second interview with Mathis. Do you see that, sir?
I'm looking at it. Okay.
Did I get 1, 2, 3, 4? It's the fifth line down. You see it?
Yes, sir.
Where you see where it says, I think that should be omitted?
Yes, sir.
Now, you're not copied on this email, correct?
Correct.
Have you seen this email before?
No, this is one.
You have not.
No, sir.
Okay? As a law enforcement officer trained in internal investigations, sworn to uphold the law, would it be inappropriate for you to be asked to remove something from an IA?
Yes, and can I?
You can elaborate if you need to on this, but I think we heard the operative answer is yes, it would be inappropriate, correct?
Yes, sir.
It'd be tampering with a report, wouldn't it?
If it changes the facts.
And we see the chief now inserting himself then with both feet in the investigation. In this lengthy paragraph beginning, also was it even possible for Goins to see what he says he saw? You see that, sir?
I do.
Now, to your knowledge, Lieutenant Milan,
Yes, sir.
did Chief Umberger ever go and do even a reenactment in the field like you did?
No, sir.
To your knowledge, did he make any measurements?
No, sir.
To your knowledge, did he do anything to corroborate or seek to support even what you and Vasquez concluded?
No, sir.
He also goes into 30 seconds away, going 60 miles per hour is a half a mile away. You see that, sir?
I see that.
From my reading of your report, you never even got into any mile per hour or distance traveled, did you?
Correct.
And where it says dispatch says he arrived 36 seconds after LaFleur, that's not accurate either, is it?
I have to refer back to my report. I don't know if it was correct or not.
Let's turn the page to this report and we'll get through this one. The reason I want to ask you about this one,
Can you tell me which one?
you should be in the same one, right after the email. Literally turn the page. Thank you. Okay, this IA report is also dated July 2nd. And would you agree that this one, again, has those charges, the same charges, that, you know, we're now up to 5.
Yes, sir.
Look at the next page. There are some entries that are highlighted in yellow. You see that?
I do.
Do you know who highlighted these entries?
Could have been me. Yes, it wasn't. Did I email something out?
It doesn't say. This is the Umberger to Batten report, and it says, see changes, additions in red from Batten at 253. And then Chief Umberger wrote him back 2 hours and 14 or 15 minutes later and asked questions. But it doesn't say if he's the one that highlighted them. So I'm just asking you, do you know who made the highlighted entries on page 2?
I had it in me.
Okay, and one of the highlights on page 2, Officer Goins had arrived on scene at 5:52, 36 seconds later. You see that,
I
sir?
do.
You put that in there because the chief put that in his email about 36 seconds, didn't you?
Like, again, I never saw that email. I was not even CC'd on that email.
So it just is coincidental that you put in a sentence that the chief referenced in an email that you're not copied on? Is that coincidental, you think?
Yes, like I said, I didn't have access to that email. The fact that 36 seconds later, I don't know, we gotta look at the body, I don't remember.
Okay. And then at the end again, of course, you sustain these 5 charges. Again, this is an unsigned report. If you look at the last page. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
And also does not include proper verification that we talked about earlier this morning, correct?
Yes, sir.
This time I'd like to move into evidence what's been marked as Exhibit 15.
Objection.
Exhibit 15 comes in as unique Exhibit 15.
At this time, if you'd like, we can take a break.
Okay, it's 12:30, good time to take a lunch break. Yesterday, we said 45 minutes, went an hour. And I'm not criticizing anybody, but how long do you want to take today, given we're at 12:30, we come back at 1, it gives us 4 hours to finish this hearing.
Yes, sir. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so we'll be adjourned for lunch till 1 o'clock.